Every casino floor is designed with one goal in mind: to guide your attention. Bright lights, loud machines, big displays, everything is placed exactly where the casino wants you to look. But if you walk slowly and you pay attention to the quiet corners, you'll notice something unusual. There are machines that seem forgotten, machines with no advertising, machines that never appear in casino promos or marketing emails. Some sit in the back of old sections, some are near exits, some are pushed into low-traffic hallways that most people never explore, and there's a reason for that. Former casino employees say these machines don't bring the house the kind of profit modern video slots do. Some pay out too frequently, some offer leftover states or multipliers if you know what to look for, some attract the wrong crowd for the surrounding floor layout, and some simply perform too fairly for the casino to highlight them. But they all still exist, quietly, consistently, and always on purpose. Today we're breaking down the 9 machines casinos would rather you walk past, not broken machines, not rare machines, just the ones the casino doesn't want in your line of sight. Let's start. Machine number 1. Double Diamond Red, White and Blue. Next is a true classic, Double Diamond, Red, White and Blue. This is the kind of machine you imagine when you think of old-school Vegas. 3 reels, simple bars and sevens, no elaborate animations, no second screen bonus, no mini-games, just spin, stop, win or lose. According to former techs and managers, this specific red, white, and blue version can be configured with an RTP close to 98% in some setups. That is extremely high for a slot on a modern casino floor. Back in the 1990s and early 2000s, these machines were very common and very popular. Over time, as casinos shifted toward video slots with lower returns and bigger visual impact, Double Diamond Red, White, and Blue quietly became a bad deal for the house. So they started phasing them out, but they couldn't get rid of them completely. Regulators in some jurisdictions require casinos to maintain a minimum number of mechanical reel games. That means casinos must keep a certain amount of traditional slots available for the public. The workaround? Hide them in places most people won't look. At many properties, ex-employees say these machines now live in high-limit rooms, but with bet levels that don't look obviously high. They might accept quarters or low-denomination dollars, not just $25 chips. Most average players see the high-limit sign and assume nothing inside is affordable. They never realize there might be a high RTP, low-denomination mechanical machine waiting in there. During regulatory audits, inspectors sometimes ask to see the mechanical reels. Casinos happily walk them to these double diamond units and demonstrate that they are available and functioning. There is no rule that says they must be easy to find, only that they must exist. Visually, the key is the color scheme, red, white, and blue, combined with the double diamond branding. Other double diamond games may not use the same pay tables. In practice, these machines are like legal checkbox slots. They let casinos say, yes, we have traditional reels available, while keeping most players focused on the newer, more profitable games. On a casino floor, what is not advertised is often more important than what is. You can't out-practice a traditional slot. You can't grind your way into an edge. With skill-based games, you can, and that's exactly what made them unwelcome guests on the floor. Machine number 2. Zombie Apocalypse. Now we move into the failed experiment zone. Machine number 2 is Zombie Apocalypse, one of the early attempts at making a skill-based slot. Manufacturers hoped this would attract younger players who grew up on video games and found traditional slots boring. At first, it worked with exactly the people you'd expect: gamers, skilled players, competitive personalities. But then casinos noticed a problem. Skillful players got better. They practiced. They learned the timing, the hitboxes, the patterns. Over time, their bonus round performance pushed their overall return above the designed average. In some internal reports, former analysts say that strong players were hitting effective RTP numbers above 100% on these machines when you factored in their shooting accuracy. Casinos do not like games where skillful play can turn the edge negative for the house. However, ripping out the machines completely would have been a public admission that the skill slot experiment backfired. So instead, casinos did what they do best. They slowly suffocated the game. Zombie Apocalypse requires more maintenance than standard slots. It runs heavier software, more complex hardware, and more moving parts in the interface. If you deprioritize its maintenance, it starts to glitch more often. Glitches drive away casual interest. No interest means no pressure to keep the game in the spotlight. Ex-employees say that at many properties, these machines now sit near back entrances, along construction walls, or in quiet corners of the floor that see almost no foot traffic. They technically remain available, but almost no one plays them. The lesson casinos took from Zombie Apocalypse and similar games was simple. They don't want skill. They want predictable randomness. Machine number 3, Ultimate X Triple Play Video Poker. Our next machine isn't technically a slot, but it lives on the slot floor and causes just as many headaches for casinos. It's called Ultimate X Triple Play Video Poker. If you're not familiar with it, here's the key idea. You're playing 3 hands of video poker at once, and when you hit a winning hand, the game doesn't just pay you, it also adds multipliers that affect your next hand. That alone would be normal. The twist is what happens when a player walks away. Those multipliers don't disappear. They stay on the machine, waiting for whoever sits down next. Former analysts say this creates huge advantage spots. If a casual player builds up 8x, 10x, or even 12x multipliers and then cashes out, the next person who notices it can sit down and play with a massive edge on their very first hand. Most casual gamblers have no idea this is happening. Some assume the game resets when they leave. Others are frustrated after a losing run and walk away without checking the screen carefully. Sometimes they simply run out of time or credits and don't realize what they left behind. But serious advantage players know exactly what they're looking for. According to former employees, some gamblers literally walk routes through multiple casinos, checking every Ultimate X machine they can find. They're not spinning blindly, they're hunting for machines that already have high multipliers loaded. From the casino's side, this destroys the expected profit. They can't call it cheating because nothing illegal is happening. The game is functioning as designed, but the overall hold percentage drops whenever skilled players abuse these spots in high-traffic areas. So casinos changed tactics. They didn't remove Ultimate X. Instead, they buried it. Former staff say these machines are often placed near parking garage entrances, in transition corridors between main sections, near back service doors or employee areas. The goal is simple. Keep the machines available, but make them inconvenient for casual scanning. In at least one reported case, a group of friends who coordinated by text to find abandoned multipliers was eventually barred from a large casino. They weren't prosecuted. The casino simply exercised its right to refuse service to players who were too efficient. If you want to recognize Ultimate X Triple Play, look for 3 poker hands stacked vertically, the Ultimate X logo, multiplier indicators above each hand. Not all video poker is created equal, and not all of it is Ultimate X. This specific combination is the one casinos are nervous about, and the one they quietly push into the shadows. Machine number 4, Sex and the City. Machine number 4 is surprising for a different reason. It's not hidden because of math. It's hidden because of people. The game is Sex and the City, based on the famous TV show. When it first hit the floors, it was a marketing dream. It pulled in a specific demographic, women in their 30s to 50s who loved the show and wanted to play something themed, fun, and social, and they didn't just play it alone. Former marketing staff noticed these machines created clusters. Groups of women would come together, take over a bank of Sex and the City slots, and stay there for hours. They'd chat, laugh, drink, and play at moderate bet levels. For pure community and atmosphere, this was great. For overall casino economics, it was not. The machines themselves made decent money. One director mentioned combined daily win numbers that looked fine on paper, but the area around them told a different story. Other players, especially male gamblers, tended to avoid sections where big social groups were gathered. The result was a dead zone effect. The 6 themed machines performed okay, but the 20 nearby machines saw their income drop by double-digit percentages. So casinos adjusted. They didn't remove Sex and the City. They simply moved it out of the center. Today, you're more likely to find these machines near hotel elevators, close to women's restrooms, or in side areas slightly away from the main pit. The goal is to let fans of the game still find it, but prevent the clustering effect from choking off high-value central floor space. This teaches an important lesson. Casinos don't just measure the performance of a single machine, they measure the performance of the entire ecosystem around it. Sometimes a slot can be profitable on its own and still get pushed into the shadows because of how it changes the behavior of everyone nearby. Machine number 5, Triple Red Hot 7S free games. Next up is a machine that becomes dangerous to the casino only when you combine it with something they aggressively promote: their loyalty program. The game is called Triple Red Hot 7's free games version. On the surface, it looks completely harmless. It's a classic three-reel style game with simple symbols and a straightforward layout, but under the hood it has a free games bonus that hits more often than you'd expect. Former slot directors say this version runs with a base RTP somewhere around 94 to 95%. That would be fine on its own. The problem starts when players pair it with high-tier comps and rewards. In some casinos, platinum-level players earn significant extra value from cashback, free play, point multipliers, and comp dollars. When you add those benefits on top of a fairly generous free game structure, the real return can edge close to, or even slightly above, 100% for the most active members. Internal reviews reportedly flagged this exact issue. In at least one property, analysis showed that top-tier loyalty members who played Triple Red Hot 7S free games heavily were essentially playing at a positive expectation over time. For casinos, that's unacceptable, but instead of cutting the comps, which would anger their best customers, they did something more subtle. They moved these machines to locations where high-tier players were unlikely to go. According to ex-staff, this often meant putting them in smoking sections, placing them in older side areas, avoiding the polished main non-smoking floor entirely. Data showed that wealthier, older comp-heavy players preferred clean, central, non-smoking environments. So by relocating Triple Red Hot 7S to the smoke-heavy sections, casinos drastically reduced the overlap between that game and that demographic. Visually, if you're trying to spot this version, you want the exact wording Triple Red Hot 7's, plus free games clearly shown on the glass or screen. Other Red Hot 7's variations use completely different math. Some former techs mentioned small markers or stickers near the title card in certain casinos, but that can vary. The bigger lesson here is how casinos treat loyalty. On the surface, they encourage you to join, swipe, earn, and get rewarded. Behind the scenes, they are constantly tracking which machines loyalty members play and quietly reshuffling anything that tilts too far in your favor. Triple Red Hot 7S free games didn't get nerfed in the code. It just got moved somewhere you're less likely to see it. Machine number 6, Ocean Magic Grand. Machine number 6 is Ocean Magic Grand, and it introduces a very different kind of edge case, one based on carryover states. Ocean Magic Grand looks like a standard modern video slot with underwater art and a special bubble feature. During play, bubbles float up the screen and can transform symbols or enhance wins. Here's the important part. The bubble system has states that do not fully reset when a player leaves. If someone plays for a while, builds up an attractive bubble pattern, and then walks away, the next player can sit down and inherit a partially advanced setup. Advantage players know this. They roam the floor, walking from Ocean Magic Machine to Ocean Magic Machine, checking the current bubble layout without even spinning once. If they see a strong pattern, lots of bubbles lined up in good positions, they sit down and start playing from that point. This doesn't turn the game into a gold mine. But former surveillance staff say it can push returns slightly above 100% for very disciplined players over time. Casinos are aware of this behavior. They don't love it, but it usually doesn't cost enough to justify major action. Instead, they use placement and visibility as their main tools. Ocean Magic Grand is often placed within clear camera sight lines, positioned near staff stations, or located in areas where anyone pacing between machines is easy to spot. Supervisors are trained to recognize the pattern, players who repeatedly check a machine and move on without betting. That is the signature of a bubble state scout. In at least one example, a player was observed checking several Ocean Magic Grand machines every morning, then playing only one for a short, controlled session. Analysis showed he was likely earning a small positive edge, around 102 to 103% return. The casino didn't ban him. They simply moved the machines to a different section where his behavior would be more visible and less convenient. The broader lesson is this: when a game has any kind of carryover mechanic, bubbles, multipliers, stored features, you can safely assume casinos have thought hard about who can see it, who can reach it, and how often. Machine number 7, Blazing Sevens, Triple Jackpot. There is a quiet little machine sitting in the corner of almost every casino. It doesn't flash like the new video slots. It doesn't play movie clips or animated bonus rounds. It just has 3 physical reels, a simple jackpot display, and the words Blazing Sevens Triple Jackpot on the glass. Most people walk right past it. Casinos are perfectly fine with that. Former floor managers say this game usually runs with an RTP somewhere around 96 to 97%, depending on the exact chip and configuration. That is noticeably higher than most modern video slots, which usually sit in the 88 to 94% range. So the old boring-looking machine is quietly returning more money to players than the giant Buffalo or branded games around it. From the casino's point of view, that is a problem. On paper, Blazing Sevens Triple Jackpot still makes money. Former staff say it might average around $180 in profit per day, but a modern video slot in the same amount of floor space can easily generate $600 or more. Same physical footprint, completely different revenue. That is why you will never see this machine on a billboard, in an email blast, or in a casino promotion. The placement pattern is very consistent. These machines are almost never in the main walkways. They're tucked into corners, along side walls, or in back sections that haven't been remodeled. In some MGM properties, ex-employees say you'll find them near the older table games. In tribal casinos, they often sit in the original parts of the building, far away from the new expansion wings. There is a very specific visual cue. You're looking for mechanical reels, not a video screen, and the wording Triple Jackpot on the glass. That label usually means you found the higher RTP version. Because the game is mechanical, it also behaves differently from digital slots. The reels make tiny sounds and resistance changes as they slow down. Some old-school players insist they can hear when the machine is lining up strong symbols. It's not a perfect signal, but it's the kind of tactile feedback you never get from a pure LCD game. Casinos keep Blazing Sevens Triple Jackpot around for one main reason: there is a loyal group of players who specifically seek it out. Removing it completely would cause complaints and bad will. But the math, plus the maintenance cost of physical reels, means these machines barely justify their space. So the compromise is simple: keep them alive, keep them quiet, and keep them out of the spotlight. Machine number 8. Quick Hit Platinum Triple Blazing 7S. Our 8th machine on this list is one we already touched on: Quick Hit Platinum Triple Blazing 7s. Quick Hit is a huge family of games. Most versions are heavily promoted, loud, and placed right in the center of the action, but this specific variant ended up being too player-friendly for casinos to showcase. Former insiders say the Triple Blazing 7s version has an unusually high bonus hit frequency. Compared to standard quick hit models, its bonuses appear roughly 30% more often. That means more small wins, more extended playtime, and more players who feel like they're holding their own. From a marketing angle, this is great. From a profit and loss angle, it's a headache. When the game first came out, many casinos gave it prime positions on the floor, but the data didn't lie. Players stayed on this machine for a long time, and their bankrolls survived longer thanks to frequent features. Even if the game was technically still profitable, it underperformed compared to other options that could occupy the same spot. So casinos took a very strategic approach. They didn't remove the machines, they simply relocated them. According to former analysts, here's how the numbers looked. In a prime location, Quick Hit Platinum Triple Blazing 7s produced about $320 per day in profit. In a bad location, that number dropped to about $160 per day. Another slot placed in that prime spot could make $500 plus per day. So the answer became obvious: move Quick Hit Platinum Triple Blazing 7S to low-traffic zones and use the valuable floor space for something more aggressive. Today, these machines are often found near back exits, in connecting hallways between casino sections, in older tower areas away from the main pit. To identify the right version, you need to look closely at the title. It must include both platinum and triple blazing sevens together. Other quick-hit games may look similar but use different math and volatility. There is also a subtle side effect. Players who do find these machines and notice they feel better than the surrounding games often grow loyal to them. Casinos tolerate that because those players will walk out of their way to find them, and the overall impact on floor revenue remains small. From the casino's perspective, this machine became a controlled sacrifice, allowed to exist but pushed far from the spotlight. Machine number 9, 9-6 jacks or better video poker. The last machine on this list isn't flashy at all. It's standard video poker, specifically 9-6 jacks or better. Those numbers matter. A full house pays 9 credits per credit bet. A flush pays 6 credits per credit bet. With perfect strategy, this version of jacks or better has an RTP of about 99.54%. That is higher than almost any slot on the floor. Casinos keep these machines because many regulated markets require them to offer video poker and maintain certain game varieties, but they do almost everything possible to make sure the average tourist never finds the best pay tables. Former employees say 9-6 jacks or better is usually tucked near parking garage hallways, placed in locals' corners, or hidden several rows deep in mixed banks of worse-paying video poker. Most people have no idea about pay tables. They see jacks or better and assume all versions are the same. They sit down at the first machine they find, which usually has a worse setup like 8-5 or even lower. Casinos happily promote those weaker versions. The generous ones with 9-6 pay tables, those stay quiet. Skilled players combine 9-6 jacks or better with perfect strategy, players' club points, free play offers, and comp perks. When you add everything together, some grinders can nudge their total expected return slightly above 100%. It's not glamorous money, but it's consistent. Casinos can't ban video poker. They can't easily remove comp programs either. So they choose the next best thing, make the good machines hard to find. Think of it like a restaurant that's legally required to serve water for free. The water is there if you specifically ask, but the waiter will always suggest soda, cocktails, or anything else first. 9-6 jacks or better is the water. Almost every casino has it somewhere. You're just not supposed to know exactly where. After looking at all 9 machines, a pattern becomes clear. Casinos don't hide machines because they malfunction. They hide them because they don't fit the business goal of the modern gaming floor. Some of these machines return more money than expected. Some let skilled players gain small advantages. Some keep players in groups that block high-value areas. Some simply don't earn enough compared to the flashy modern games around them. Casinos don't remove these machines completely. They move them to quieter locations. They push them into corners. They let them stay available but not visible, not searchable, not promoted. To the average visitor, the casino floor looks random. To insiders, nothing is random at all. Every machine is placed where it helps the casino the most, and some machines are placed where they do the least harm. If you know what to look for, you'll start noticing the patterns too. You'll see which machines the casino proudly displays and which ones it quietly pushes away from the spotlight. And the next time you walk through a casino, you might realize you've been guided more than you thought. If this helped you understand the floor a little differently, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves slots, because most players will never hear the story behind the machines the casino doesn't want them to find.